this show.
Feels like the world is slipping through my hands. Losing control, can't seem to find my way home. I sit and watch me rolling back, turn yourself into stone. I'm hoping I can find the silver lining. Transmission blinking, not replying. We're losing signal over the horizon. That's screaming over radio silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're right here live on YouTube Live. And of course, Tommy Sinbazo is back. Man, what the fuck is going on?
Not much, man.
So damn busy. Of course, right before we started, you started talking a little bit about your bussy shows with our good friend Eric Woodworth, who we see all the time on the show. So what's going on with those, man? Of course, you're on 98 Rock tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Friday, filling in for Justin while he's in Japan. All places.
How do you just up and go to Japan and not tell a soul?
I think he didn't want anybody. No, he told us.
Okay.
He told us like a couple weeks ahead of time. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to Japan, but I'm not going to tell anybody until I'm there, and then I'll post a picture of me like, hey, in front of Godzilla or whatever."
I mean, that's cool, man. You know, just show up someplace and people are like, "Oh, fuck, he's there." Like, yeah.
I think it was a surprise. That's gonna bother me that there's laundry on the basement stairs. But I think his baby mama. Sweet, what do they call her on the show? Mudge.
Yes.
I think she surprised him. She was like, "Hey, here's tickets. We're going to Japan." And he was like, "What? Okay,
that's good."
So,
shit. So you can't ever be beaten with a surprise trip to Japan. And while we're talking about Japan, there's a story I found which has to do with the Asian continent. It's not Japan. It's more, well, actually China. So,
okay.
You know, and it's a story that I came across that's about a Chinese dick sucking factory. And I was like, well, you know, how the hell does this work? So
wait, this whole factory sucks your dick?
Like, yeah, like it says Canadian clinical psychologist, self-help author and YouTuber Jordan Peterson has come under fire for sharing a pornographic tweet that made a false claim about the Chinese government this week. It says the tweet, originally posted by Twitter user at Song Peng Unk, who regularly tweets content critical to the Chinese Communist Party, alleged that China runs sperm collection banks in which males lie to eat next to each other while it's connected to a masturbatory medical apparatus with an accompanying video showing the supposed sperm bank in action. What the fuck?
I like it's not a pocket pussy, it's a warehouse pussy.
Yeah, like it's just a whole. Oh, what the fuck is that? Okay, hold on.
That's our number one export.
Wait a minute. Hold on. All right. There's a photo of this. You got to see this. Like I feel like I would be in deep pleasure if I was hooked up to all that. Like, and I'm guessing that might be the sperm right there. But I mean, look at that. Like,
why do you got to be in that? Why you got to be in a fucking cum cocoon? And the woman, the nurse doesn't have to be that hot. If the machine's just going at it while you know, you're strapped up like you're an extra in a Tool video.
I wonder if this is like some sort of like virtual mask and he's getting a live stream of this chick right here.
It looks like a gas mask.
Lisa, like it's almost like execution via fucking dick sucking. Like that.
I think that guy, they should redo the Metallica's One. And that's the guy. That's like, he's like, darkness has taken my sight. It's not that bad. Something sucking my dick. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
And then this one tweet says the Chinese dick sucking factory video shared by Jordan Peterson raises serious questions. Questions like what happened to America's homegrown dick sucking industries and how many jobs are lost because China can honk hogs faster and cheaper than we can.
Well, I'm texting Justin now, telling him to make a quick stop at China.
Yeah, Justin, before you leave, stop at the Chinese dick sucking factory. And I mean, like, how does that work? Like, I mean, like, there's all kinds of crazy sex toys out there. And there was this toy when Eric was on one night. It was like the Robo Dick Sucker 3000. It was like this big contraption that literally just so like, and the guy's like strapped down, so he's like restrained. Like, so is it like to the point to where eventually they suck your dick so much with that thing that you go absolutely mad and you just want to start killing people.
He started trying to Hulk out of it.
Yeah.
Tickles. It tickles so bad.
You lose your fucking brain cells just from fucking.
If I ever do like pull a Justin and just take a trip, that's going to be the first photo I post of when I'm in China and I'm strapped up in that thing. Just want like leave me enough to give a thumbs up.
Yeah, Tommy convinces them to let him wear his Mandalorian helmet, and it's just
Konnichiwa, bitches.
yeah. And I mean, like, what is the sign? Like, I wonder, like, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, of course, in China, like I think they control their like, don't they have like a smaller population there?
Yeah,
like,
they have a thing like you can only have one kid or something, or
yeah. So I wonder if they're doing this, like they're forcing the males to do it. Like this guy is like married to like his hideous wife, and he just doesn't want to have sex with her. And he's like, well, you don't have to because you see, there's a bed you can lie in, and we want you to have more children. So
he's like, honey, I got a factory job.
yeah,
gotta go to work. Some people work to live. I live to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know how you go to a sperm bank and like they pay you to, do your donations, all that shit. Like, do they pay you to lay there and just have this thing just,
No, they paid. That guy paid them. That's like a per hour thing. It's like one of those booths at what's that called? The Jack Shack on 40. Yeah, you buy a little token and you put it in. And it plays like a claymation porno or whatever.
Oh my God. Oh, speaking of Route 40, I want to give everybody an update on Socrates. Like, Tommy, I'm not sure if you heard about any of that stuff.
Eric told me something. Yeah, but fill me in.
Yeah. So Socrates, he was going through a rough time. He was living in a hotel off of Route 40. And so I was supposed to go to an Orioles game with him, and I gave this as an exclusive on Eric's show. I'm going to just give a quick version of it. And I went to his hotel. He didn't answer. I went to the game, came back. He still heard nothing from him. I had heard something about he was having issues with pills, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So did a welfare check. He was completely out of it, took like 3 bottles of pills, went to the hospital. And then a couple of days later, he had checked out. And he went to some overpass and he jumped off of a 60-foot overpass down onto the train tracks. And he made it about like 5 feet away from the train tracks, but the trains are so wide, it basically shoulder checked him and shattered his back.
Jesus.
And he fucking survived. Like the fucking, train conductor called 911. They airlifted him out of there. And he's been in the hospital. Like he's had like 6 or 7 surgeries. He's due for like a couple more. He may never walk again. He said it's based off of his physical therapy and all that stuff. And so he fucking calls me yesterday. Like, hey Ray, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's up? You sound all right? You doing good? He's giving me a little bit of update. He's like, yeah, so my friend just bought me like this the smartphone. I've never had a smartphone before. Would you be able to help me, activate it and all that stuff? Because he just had one of those flip phones through the government. I'm like, yeah, I mean, sure, if that helps you get through your day while you're crippled in a bed in the hospital or whatever and all that. But no, he's in good spirits. Like, he was laughing about it and shit and all that. I'm like, brother, let me tell you, if you jumped off of a bridge and got hit by a train and didn't die, I don't know what kind of higher power is up there, but it's telling you it ain't your fucking time, man.
Yeah. If he thought his life was so bad before, he took 3 bottles of pills. That didn't do it. He's like, fuck it. Jumped off an overpass. That didn't do it. He's like, fuck it. And then he gets hit by a train. And then they're like, well, now you can't walk. Now someone's gonna have to wipe your ass. Like, oh, my life's even worse now.
Well, maybe I'll call the Chinese Communist government.
Yeah. That was a picture of Socrates after his 9th surgery.
They're just extracting all of his seed, and they're like, you know what? Yeah. We're reproducing multiple Socrateses. It's going to be a world.
Yeah, we need new super soldiers.
This thing can get hit by a train and live. Jesus.
Oh, man. That, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, man.
That must suck.
Like, Jesus, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I've always had my spat with like depression and shit like that. But yeah, I never sat there and like looked at an overpass and like looked over the side and was like, maybe I should jump off that. And
yeah. Well, I mean, he tried the pills. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll try the easy way. And it was pills. And then it was like, well, hard way it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, was the intention to get hit by a train, or did the train just happen to come? Like, I mean, was it like the kind of thing where it's like, okay, I want to die hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And then like you didn't, and you're laying there like, oh, I'm real fucked now. Like that's the thing. Like you hear the train coming, but your legs are already broken. And it's just like, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I told him, I was like, man, I'm going to talk about this on the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's like, man, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe he jumped, and then he was like, I lived. I must have a higher purpose. You know what? Life is beautiful. And then a train fucking hits him.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm going back to college. I'm gonna get my shit together.
Well, I told one of my buds, it's actually Mike, who used to be one of the co-hosts for the show. I told him, I was like, well, look at it like this. If his legs don't work no more, he ain't jumping off any more bridges.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. Unless like he has like one of those wheelchairs with like the seatbelt, and he like fucking arms himself and just like flips the chair over like the fucking side or some shit. But you look like the fucking guy from Friday the 13th that had the axe in his head that roll down the fucking stairwell backwards. Like,
or in Naked Gun. Remember in all the Naked Gun movies, someone went in a wheelchair. And one of the movies, I think it was O.J. Simpson, pushed the Queen of England down a flight of stairs at a ball game. Okay. In a wheelchair, and she hit the fucking thing and it like fucking it flinged her over the balcony.
Just kept going and going and going.
Have you ever seen the movie Don't Breathe?
I think I have. I think it's been a while though since
well, I saw the sequel because okay. I illegally streamed it, and I was like, oh well, this is the sequel, but I'll just watch the sequel. But so today while I was working, like I'll put something on to just keep my brain occupied while I'm working. And I found Don't Breathe. There's a scene in Don't Breathe, right, where he has this woman. Long story short, his daughter got killed in vehicular manslaughter. It was a rich white girl that hit his daughter. She got off scot-free. The family paid him $500,000 to like make it go away. Yeah. He ends up kidnapping this woman, and she's in his basement, and he had knocked her up. Say, because she was like, this isn't going to bring your daughter back. And he was like, actually,
I've been going to the Chinese Communist government.
Yeah. And well, see, that's what it reminded me of. So then these people break into his house. They don't even tell you this part of the story. You find this out later, but these people break into his house to steal that $500,000. Okay. And when they get down into the basement, he starts killing them. And he's blind, but when he gets
wait, that's the second one. Okay, maybe I saw the first one. Is it like the creepy blind dude, like the dude with the gray hair or whatever?
Yeah.
So I saw the first one. I never saw the second one.
Okay, well, no, I'm describing the first one, but there's that scene. That scene where the girl that breaks in, now he's got her strapped up, and he was like, "I'm sorry. After you give birth, I will let you go." And he was like, "I don't force myself on you." And he opens his freezer and has this fucking a tub of cum, like Ben and Jerky's, right? And he takes a turkey baster and sucks up so much fucking cum, and then slits her pants while she's all strung up. Yeah, and he's about to insert it in her, and then she gets saved. And then when she gets saved, she grabs the turkey baster and shoves it down his throat.
Is it bad that while that scene was about to happen, I was like so ready to go, like I had like the lotion ready, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, just base that thing. Like when you said blind and the $50,000 thing or whatever, I was like, wait, I did see that fucking movie because I remember
the sequel makes him the hero of the thing.
Okay. Yeah, even though he kidnapped the woman and tried to impregnate her with a turkey.
Come on. It was crazy times.
I mean, like, look at it like this. People don't go see Friday the 13th to cheer for the people that are being murdered. They go to cheer for the murderer. Like,
there was a guy in the thing that I was like, God, please let him be the first person to get killed. And he was. I was like, fuck yes. And then the next movie, it's like 5 people come in to like just to kill him. And he murks all of them.
Like he's like a blind John Wick. If John Wick was a blind man, that'd be John Wick. Like what the hell was that movie when they had like all the action stars together? Like
the Expendables.
The Expendables. I want them to do like a horror one. It's like the blind guy from that movie, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers.
The licensing alone. It would be the Who Framed Roger Rabbit of horror movie licensing. But someone made a free-to-play game so they could get around it, and it's a fighting game, and it has all of those people in it.
Nice.
Like you can be Pinhead, you can be Jason, you can be Chucky. I think you can be a xenomorph from Aliens and stuff.
Predator and shit. Like I've always wondered with and I think I can't remember. I got to look back on the episode because I'm like doing like smaller clips now for all the episodes. It's when Doug Bradley was on. Like I may have asked a question of, so we've never seen it in the movies, but did Pinhead's dickhead match his regular head? Like because I kind of want that because I remember us making the reference to Deep Throat, which was
Yeah.
that one character with the throat there, and I remember telling Doug Bradley, you can legitimately throat fuck Deep.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole
He's like,
thing.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
While he's doing it, your soul belongs.
Yeah.
to me. And that man over there, tied down, having all the semen extracted from him, he's gonna know what true hell feels
we have
like.
such sight to that guy's winning. We keep saying anytime he groans, we're like, that better not be an enjoyment groan. He's like,
Yeah, that guy beat the fucking the Hellraiser people because he's excited.
yeah.
For the torture
He's
that
like, I know what you're thinking. Does the lamentation curtains match the lamentation drapes?
Jesus fucking Christ.
We have such sights. I have such sights to show you. Check your phone. I'm sending it now. Mhm. What do you think of that?
So there's also a story of a man that stripped naked and jumped onto a fire truck after a crash. And of course, this happened right here in Montgomery County, Maryland. A very Maryland thing to do. Like I've gotten naked and done various things naked, but I don't think I've ever jumped on to a fire truck. So
The guy was naked and a fire truck went by and he jumped on it.
hold on, wait. Peter Pringle. Listen to this name. Peter Pringle, a spokesperson for Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Services, said crews responded to a crash on Interstate 270. Pringle said that the firefighters encountered an unattended vehicle and the alleged disrobed driver had dropped all of his clothes in the middle of the road. That's definitely drugs of some kind,
Yeah.
according to the television station.
That's
The
good
naked man
fucking
then
drugs.
jumped onto the fire truck after attempting to enter several vehicles. So this was like naked Grand Theft Auto. It says the man jumped onto the truck and was attempting to get into the moving vehicle. And Pringer told the television station they slowed down so the man would have to hold on, and the doors were locked, of course. And what I'm going to do, Sherry's in the room, so we're going to go ahead and
Okay.
admit Sherry in.
Just saying, maybe the guy thought he was invisible.
Yeah, this isn't a dick you're really seeing.
Ooh, someone's outside of your truck. Ooh.
Maybe he got excited by the fire hose. He saw the length of the fire hose and he was thinking of that, fucking dick sucking device that we saw. And was like, oh, you know what?
You never
Maybe
know.
I can do this with that fire hose.
There's those people that have like their My Strange Addiction and they're like attracted to Ferris wheels or trucks and stuff.
That's a wild show, man. Like fucking like they had a show about that where people were like, could you imagine being sexually attracted to a Ferris wheel? Like you're just sitting there just caressing like the side of the fucking Ferris wheel.
I fucked worse than a Ferris wheel.
You're like, I fucked worse than a Ferris wheel.
What happened to Sherry? Did she
She might not have gotten connected right. Okay, so here we go. I admit again.
Oh, you might do that thing where you send her a request for her camera.
Here, I said audio was connecting last time.
Yeah. Hold on, Sherry. Hold on. He has a thing where I had the same problem where my camera didn't connect and he sent a request. And then once I clicked it, it worked.
She might still be getting set up too. So sometimes that happens when they're still getting some of the stuff set up. But no, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, so like when you jump onto a fire truck completely naked, like, I guess, do you just, at that point, are you just a naked firefighter at that point? Like do they just start going with your high ass, like just down the road going, hey, you know what? Now we're going to fight fires tonight. Like,
what if the guy's like, I'm a Dalmatian? Like, that is eczema.
Yeah. They draw spots all over him. He's like
rough.
Dalmatian.
God damn it, he keeps licking himself. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, can you hear me? I was
I
messing
can.
with my microphone.
No, you're fine. Of course, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. And Sherry, we're going to get right into it. Of course, Utah is screwing around and they're putting a ban on porn, which, I mean, I don't know, me, like, I don't really know much about Utah. I've never
I've
really
been there.
living in Utah, but now I definitely don't want to live there. Every day I'm like, Maryland,
Utah is like if Chick-fil-A bought a state.
Honest to God, that's
Yeah.
the truth. If a Mormon Chick-fil-A,
Yeah, God, if a
an
Mormon
entire
Chick-fil-A, you're
state.
just being served sandwiches by beings of pure light. Biblically
Yeah.
accurate angels.
Yeah, they're trying to do, basically they want you to enter personal identifying information every time you use not all porn sites, but certain porn sites, which is even worse.
So they're
Oh.
discriminating against porn sites. They're just like, this one and this one are okay. Now, how do they expect you to do that? Because like you have the show ID. So I can see like some like 80-year-old man trying to put his ID into like a fucking floppy drive of his fucking computer and it getting stuck and he's beating the computer going, dag nabbit, all I want to see is some titties.
Right? Like the irony is that the people who shouldn't be watching it have the technological savvy to absolutely figure out how to watch it. And all of the adults are sitting there going, I don't fucking
I want to
what?
watch.
Like,
Apparently,
you know?
Congress started having hearings about Chat GPT. Oh God, I want to watch those. We're like, now what is Chat GPT?
Jabidity.
How do you pronounce this?
What in tarnation?
Yeah.
Is it?
Now, what sites are they trying to block? I thought it was just Pornhub. Is it or no?
Yeah. So basically they haven't, it's not like they've blocked all of porn because I mean, how could you even do that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Really, it's part of the absolutely bullshit war on porn. They say it's to protect children. That's absolute rubbish. There are so many other solutions that we would need to implement if we wanted, and I think our country should want to protect children, not just from adult, pornographic content, but let's just take a step back even from adult content and talk about the internet. Like even this lovely YouTube podcast,
oh God, children shouldn't watch this.
Shouldn't watch it, right? So like back when I was young, it was really easy to kind of, as a nation, make sure that the children were safe. We had ratings on movies, even slightly scandalous television shows were put at night. There was all kinds of things because we had a real grasp on all of the media. And then the internet came. And most of the world, and the United States specifically, allow user uploaded content. And that is so many different things. It can be Reddit, it can be Facebook, it can be Twitter, TikTok, but not just social media. It's tube sites. It's all of those things are user uploaded content, much of which, porn included, is not appropriate for children.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact that they're just saying for Pornhub or these other few sites, why don't you enter all of this personal identifying information? We're not going to tell you how or if we're going to store it. We have no, can it be hacked? Can it not be hacked? Did you just throw this on and hope that no one can hack it? Because that's a major privacy violation.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fucking even take a thimble scoop of the problem of the internet is not appropriate for children away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as a society, we kind of need to decide, and I don't mean the American society because the internet, as we know, is worldwide.
It's right there in the title, World Wide Web.
So what are we going to do? And something does need to be done to protect children from the 90% of the content on the internet that is not geared toward children, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't it. And all of the things that they do against porn is simply because they don't want porn to exist. They don't give a shit about the children because the children know about VPNs. The children can figure
The kids
out
are going to get past it.
Just to watch the Orioles because it's blacked out in my area. And then you take porn away. Like me, I don't really give much of a shit about religion. I don't really give much of a shit about politics. However, you take my porn away, I may start setting police officer cars on fire.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. They haven't taken all of the porn away. They've just, done some of the bigger sites. But the bigger sites, and let's just use Pornhub for an example, because they're the ones who decided, fuck no, I'm not going to even take the chance or responsibility of having all of this identifying information leak. I'm not going to provide my services to your state. But you realize that there are tube sites from all over the world who have Pornhub has age verification, Pornhub has moderators, Pornhub, pays all of us per view like YouTube. You know what a lot of the other tube sites don't do? Any of that.
Yeah.
And they're not even run in countries where you could go after them if you wanted to.
Yeah. Most cam girls, they don't speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're from all over the place. And a lot of tube sites allow all kinds of absolute illegal garbage on their sites. So like you're still letting those.
Yeah, it's like the black market of porn.
Yeah, back in my day, if you wanted porn, you had to go walk in the woods and look under logs until you found a crumpled up centerfold of some woman that was on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Like our
And then
forefathers.
you shared it with all your friends for all time.
Yeah.
Now, see, where do we go? Like, where do they go with this now? Because it's like, they're targeting certain sites, and it's like, so obviously, so do they start trying to pull, publications out now? Do they sit there?
People that are spearheading these campaigns, again, don't care about children. They're trying to eradicate porn. Because if they cared about children, they would care about this podcast. They'd care about all kinds of things.
Yeah,
Children
they
shouldn't
care
be
about
seeing.
gun violence and all.
They
and
care about not safe for life content on Reddit. They would care about
They would
fact
care
that
about
things
children
like-
not being killed in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they would find a solution that no matter what website in the world the kid tried to go to, which is why Pornhub was saying device-based, have identifying markers on devices that parents can give kids so they can't access not just porn, but 99% of the internet that, in fact, if it's not specifically geared towards kids, I would argue they just shouldn't be seeing it.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
think
mean?
we need a
Let's
CAPTCHA.
assume it's not for kids unless we market for children and then only let them watch that content. The World Wide Web isn't going anywhere. Disgusting content isn't going anywhere. Stuff parents don't like isn't going anywhere. So like maybe we should actually protect our children instead of saying, oh, the poor children, really, I want to get rid of porn. Because like, look at what they're actually doing.
They need a CAPTCHA, like where you have to click to say, I'm not a robot, which that has stopped ChatGPT. Some guy gave ChatGPT $100 and said, make this as much money. And it got up to a point of a website where it had to select that it wasn't a robot. And it just went on a gig-based website and hired a human to click that. And then it continued to do it. But what we need something that's like you should have a cassette tape and a pencil. And you have to give 3 words. Like, what do these two have in common? Or what does the M in MTV stand for? The kids have no fucking idea what it is.
M and MTV.
Clearly not old enough.
Yeah. Like,
If you
Why
can't
would
list
we
3
use
episodes of MTV Spring Break, you cannot access our
Yeah.
pornographic material.
What is a snooki?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck a snooki is.
Exactly. That is the kind of hardcore, identifying information that we need to protect people.
Like, has there ever been a thought of maybe, like they're crying about, oh, children shouldn't see this. And it's like, should it be like the kind of thing where like you just go in front of like wherever like the Congress house is in Utah, and you just start fucking live, like on the front lawn. And it's just like, well, the children are seeing this now. So they could have just left it alone.
It's pretty,
Also,
the
like,
architecture in Salt
How
Lake
are
City.
like my titties more offensive than like a semi-automatic weapon?
Yeah. Like,
And then
yeah.
people dying on the internet. Then
Yeah.
like all kinds of inappropriate political discourse. Like how?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I could see like the offense part because you're looking at titties and it's like my dick gets offended because it's like once you beat it long enough. Like we were just talking about the supposed Chinese dick sucking machine where this dude was like bounded down and all that shit. I'll see if I can find it again.
Yeah, pull it
I've
back
never
up.
heard of this.
Oh, you got to go to China.
It's like
Oh
a
my God.
male forced orgasms.
No, the picture, it looks like a guy completely strapped in a gurney with
Like
a
an
gas
iron lung
mask.
of masturbation.
Yes. Like it looks like this guy's a burn victim and they're getting the only juice out of him that they can. I don't know. This picture's
Milking
kind
a-
of sus.
All right, well, let me see.
So
I
while he's looking for that, I saw the story that once Pornhub decided they were going to ban access in Utah, the next day the highest search term was VPN.
Oh, yeah.
So
Of course.
immediately everybody was like, and then there's other websites where people are like, what's the best free VPN? And they always be the guy like, if you're not paying for it, it's not worth getting.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we understand how to internet. Like if you want to protect people, you should fucking actually try and do it. You
Yeah.
know, not just have some weird ID harvesting bullshit. Like, cause like, come on. Like, what do they really want there? It sounds like a total breach of privacy. Having
100%.
to upload that type of personal information. It's egregious. And you know, they did it so quickly, they can't protect anyone's information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, it's the people that want to implement the technology have no idea how to protect that sort of information.
No, they didn't even think of VPNs.
No, yeah.
People got around that problem in seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, we've now banned porn. Oh, fuck. They're watching porn from the.
Immediately watching porn. Immediately watching porn.
I found the.
Oh, no,
fact,
they
the only
deep
people
faked
you-
my head.
The only people you ban porn from is half of the adults who don't know what a VPN
Yeah.
is. Like, if we're being
And they're just
honest.
going to get angrier and
Yeah.
shoot up a school because they can't jerk off.
Yeah, like why don't we want people jerking off? Fucking
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
Sherry,
wow.
here we go. Here's that image right there. So
Oh,
that
Oh, here it comes.
so apparently
She's
the
hot.
Chinese Communist government have milking plants, and this
Yeah.
is like they
I
basically
don't know.
have someone in a mask, and
That's kind of sucks because you don't need someone that hot working this machine.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
like she did, like
do.
she's taking a selfie, like yeah, that's that you know, my
That's a
husband
waste of her
fully
visual
expected to.
talents.
Who's the lady?
I don't know. Like we feel like she's a nurse, but like
That's not a
I
nurse.
just can't get
I
over
mean,
Wait,
maybe she's a
hold
nurse,
on.
but those aren't scrubs.
She is wearing glasses, so she must be smart. She's clearly a scientist. That's
In the meantime, the glasses have no lenses, so there's
Yeah.
it's all this pumping down into like this little device right here, and it looks like there's like a little pair of scissors here. So I guess if things go wrong, they just have to cut the entire dick off with that thing. Just be like, oh well, not enough's coming out. We just
There's
got
got to be easier ways to get your cum than this
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah, I feel like that's like some bondage scene that someone mistook for like an actual
Yeah.
like government conspiracy. In the meantime, kink.com is like, thank you for the free press.
That's the cum collection. If you don't have like good health insurance, they're like, all right, strap them up to El Cum Sog, and they're like,
Tie him to the lamppost.
they're
Jim's
sh-
gonna
they're
milk
sh-
him.
they're shoveling coal into it. Some steampunk cum apparatus. It's
If it were
mustagussi.
steampunk, I'd be for it.
And now it's funny because you said there's ways of getting around it. I mean, Twitter alone is just a wild fucking west. Like, I mean, Christ, like we're a porn oriented podcast. So like 99.99% of my Twitter feed is porn anyways. Like,
Yeah, I can't open my Twitter feed in mixed company.
yeah.
I've ruined my
Not in
Twitter
an
feed.
airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, you sit there, you're trying to find baseball results, and you're like titties, dick, gang bang, like whatever. Oh, hey, here's the home run that Adley Rushman just hit. Here
Exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
Here, let me
We
watch
know how,
that.
like on Instagram, within the past 6 months, they've realized that if a woman is just wearing a sheer top, it still counts as clothing.
Well,
And
not for
anytime,
sex workers. It's like those rules are for women that aren't sex workers. Sex workers still can't show anything.
oh man,
Isn't that weird?
man. Well, you went.
They have us under tight control.
Well, it's weird because like I've been doing the show. We're going into our 4th year doing the show, and we've had it's funny. Like I told everybody, like I'm basically filling the infinity gauntlet with having you on because I've had like almost every major MILF award category as a guest on the show.
Nice.
So like now like we have the infinity gauntlet filled, and like it's crazy because we're starting to see some of the stigma with that. Like people are always like, oh well, why are you talking to porn stars? And I'm like, wait, don't we live in a world with inclusion? Like I can't have them on my show because you don't like what they do or whatever. And
Yes.
that they've been great to us. Like, with all of our views, sex sells. Sex has
Yes.
always sold, no matter what it was. And yeah, I mean, it's just I don't understand. Like I had a beer.
Our society is allowed to use us and objectify us, but as soon as you try and humanize us, people get very, very upset because it's concerning to them. It goes against what they think the moral code should be. we're out there doing all the things they were told they weren't supposed to do. We're making money doing those things. We're living a beautiful, autonomous, life doing those things. And I think it pisses a lot of people off that you're talking to us and not just being like, wiggle your titties and ass for, the male gaze. Yeah.
It's sort of like what Ron DeSantis is doing to Florida. He's passing all these laws and rules to try to make it a Puritan, pure society. But like with the immigration bill that takes effect in July, there's been a mass exodus of the Hispanic populace of Florida.
That's
and now
sad.
they don't have people to work fields. There's no one doing construction. They have a total labor shortage and their economy is going to crash.
Also, like, when did America not like we're all immigrants? Unless you're Native American, you're an immigrant.
Yeah.
So
Nobody
like,
is
how
really
the fuck?
from here.
Nobody's from, unless you're Native American, nobody is from here. So like, who are we to say, well, we made it and our ancestors made it, but you can't come in?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, we made it in our sense and our ancestors made it. So we're going to make it to where you can't view porn anymore. That's what we're gonna
Basically. Yeah, the
Stop
fucking
jerking off, you
Puritans
kids.
came over on the Mayflower and fucked everything up is what happened. Yeah.
Like maybe we are like somehow in like dimensions are crossing and the Puritans are here amongst everybody.
They
And they're
never left.
Yeah.
What's like with all
Culture is
the
based on that white fucking religious crap, you know?
with all the states that are now moving towards legalizing marijuana and much more loose marijuana restrictions and stuff, it's the conservatives that thought that it would be like this potopia where everyone's fucking smoking weed, but now they're showing that children are less likely to smoke weed now because their adults are all doing it. Like, I'm not into that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's safer. I have a minor heart problem. So I never, just not because weed would have been bad for my heart, but if it was spiked, it would have killed me. If it was laced with something, it would have killed me. So I never smoked weed until I moved to California, where it was legal and safe. Legal equating to safety, equating to a pure drug, equating to not killing me.
Yeah.
Like and plus the tax dollars. It's moralistic bullshit getting in the way of a perfectly acceptable capitalism.
now you said you have a minor heart problem. Has that ever come into play in like any of your scenes or anything? Like, has anything ever been like that intense to where like that kind of like bothers?
Well, I actually got it fixed a couple of years ago. It was atrial tachycardia and it was totally random. So it would have an episode with no rhyme or reason. Unless I had too much caffeine or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
But it's
not
fixed
like
and I'm better, but definitely no like hardcore stimulants, like no cocaine, no laced weed, none of that. That would be nightmare.
my bread and
status.
butter, cocaine and lace.
They
You
look
ever
at
had to do a scene where the guy dropped his pants and it was like, and you're like, I have a heart condition.
I can't have that would be, I'm going to use that line in my next scene. I'll be like, I don't think I can. I have a heart condition.
And that's
I'm
when
already
millions
playing
of
the older woman. It feeds right into my brand.
all these Utahns bust right then.
Yeah. When
An
I get a
AFib.
little older and I start doing gilf porn, I'm definitely making that like I say a lot.
I remember there was that we called the Pack Shack. There was a place down the street from my house that it was a porn shop, and then suburbs sprouted up around it. So and these suburbs kept trying to get this thing fucking taken off of 40, but it got grandfathered in. But anyway, that's used to be where we go, and we saw there was gilf porn, like one called Grandma Gets Her Cookies.
Nice.
No
Nice. Good
teeth,
for
all
grandma.
beef.
I want to see a life alert porn. Like you know how like people get stuck, like they fall and they just can't get back up, and then like grandson comes in.
Oh my god, it's the new stuck porn, but for the guilt.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's fallen and she can't get up.
What are you
instead of
doing,
stuck in the
step
washing
grandson?
Step grandson, I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh, I know how to help you. Yes. That is
Ma, you remember when you gave me $1 for Christmas? Well, guess what happens now?
That's what happens now. Mhm.
Maybe you gave me a check for 50 cents.
I'm taking notes. All of
Okay,
this is
nice.
going into the future of my porn because
Nice.
I'm going to be out there with my walker, just
Oh, yeah.
nursing home gangbang 12.
What if
whatever
like
it
that
takes.
you come in with a walker, right? And you see a gangbang and you're like, and then like the Mentos like
Yes.
and you pull the ends off the walkers and it's 4 dildos. And then you can
Yes.
see?
You
I'll
can-
start
How
my
can we
3D
fit
printer right
Werther's
now.
originals into this porn.
Ooh.
Oh,
A
well, you know
purse
what?
full
I've
of
always been
Werther's.
just-
Here,
A
young
Werther's,
man,
a
would you
fucking-
like a candy?
A
Like-
dildo that you unwrap it, it's a Werther's dildo.
Yes,
And then
but
they're
it's
all
like,
fighting over it. Like,
it's that flavor though, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole dildo made out of Werther's.
yeah. And then you get a hella yeast infection.
Yeah, I didn't think that through.
You're that
Yeah.
grandmother that gives out pennies on Halloween, and it's like a bunch of like young kids, like 8 of them, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna go to that house and we're gonna gangbang.
Well,
grandma
young
now.
18-year-old kids.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. What do you
yes.
do?
Of age, of age.
Yeah.
But compared to an 80-year-old, even a 20-year-old, very young.
Hey, Sherry, being around, what do you think? What do you think is the biggest like age difference you've seen in porn? Like between like a young guy and an older, like mature woman in porn?
Well, I know Nina Hartley is in her 60s now. Julia Ann is in her 50s. So I'm sure when both of them I think Julia Ann just shoots for herself now. I'm not
Okay.
sure how often Nina shoots, but I'm sure they did some MILF porn. So I imagine 18, 19, 20 to, 60.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nina Hartley.
And a lot of the guys are older too.
Yeah. Well, Nina Hartley, she still looks good for her age.
Yeah,
Nina's
yeah.
an icon. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, plastic don't crack.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Right. Now I've seen I'm of the age now where I've seen porn starlets where they're barely legal
Mhm.
and then they move into the the stepsis category
Yep.
and then they become MILFs
Yeah.
and then they get into the GILF cat and I'm like, I've seen them through their spring and fall.
That
Yeah,
just
meanwhile-
means you're old.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're 35 and they're in the GILF category, and you're just sitting there watching it, and you're like, I mean, I'll still jerk off to it, but I can't really get behind it.
One of my friends shot in the same day for the magazine Barely Legal. I think she was like 32 at the time, and did a MILF porn that afternoon. So in the same day, she had 2 things
Oh.
come out where she was a MILF and Barely Legal.
Oh, like it's weird to me because like I'm weird because I come from the pro wrestling, background.
Yeah.
So like I appreciate a good story, a good build to a good story. So, if I'm watching something and you're building this whole story with the MILF, but the MILF looks like they're 22, like I'm not like, it's kind of like, okay, like
Yeah.
this
I
story
feel like-
isn't.
What
I
if
feel
we
like in
do
the past like 5-10 years though, the MILFs have been more like older women.
Yeah.
I feel like there must have been a time where there just weren't enough 40-year-old women to perform in all these roles. And even now there's like 20 of us. You know what I mean? So like there's just not as many older women as there are younger women, which is why the younger women often get shoved
Mhm.
into those older women roles. Cause like if every company is shooting a MILF movie in Los Angeles every day, what are they going to do?
What if that was a Meghan Markle and Prince Harry sex tape and it was
Yeah.
called Barely Regal?
Barely Regal. I'm into it. Sold.
That's a
Sold.
great pun. That's
Now,
a great
should
pun, Ray.
should it be a real celebrity sex tape or are we casting this?
No,
If
no, no. We're
so,
casting it. We're casting it.
We're casting it. Who do you think should play them?
Oh God, I don't know enough names, and the women I like are far too thick to be Meghan Markle.
Yeah, I like that you like the thick girls. Yeah.
But so for me, it's just what ginger porn star and thick lady would I like to see have sex?
Yeah. We'll spray paint his hair. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And Sherry, what we're going to do real quick, we have a series of games that we play with all of our guests. We know you don't have like a lot of time. So what we're going to do, we're going to hop into our game segment. So we play a series of games. The first one is a game called Extreme Personal Questions. So
Ooh, yeah.
what we do is there's 2 questions on the card
Mhm.
and a random questions, question A or question B. You're going to choose either A or B. You're going to get that question and then you're select myself or Tommy to answer
Okay.
the other question. So do you
Okay.
want A or B?
Okay.
So
B.
B. All right. So B. So all right. What is the most political thing you have ever done?
Oh, that's easy. I ran for president with Coolio.
Nice.
Coolio was my VP. He was going to do Coolio Care. We made it quite a ways, but never got the funding to take the next step. But that was a really, really good campaign.
Well, you're
Make
always
America
my
fucking
president,
great
Madam
again.
President. I would have voted for you.
Thank you.
And of course, we're here on YouTube Live. Everybody, make sure you comment right over here in the chat as well. So question B, who do you want,
Ray.
or question A, who do you want to select for question A, myself or Tommy Sinbazo?
You.
All right. So question A is, why should you see a therapist? Reason why you should see a therapist is I said when we first started the show is that when you watch porn, like watching just 2 regular people do it just doesn't do it for you anymore. So
Gotta have something fun.
it just builds levels and
Mhm.
and then the next thing you know, you're at the deepest, darkest parts of porn, where like the angler fish and all that shit.
There's an
hanging
octopus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of props involved. There's that milking machine. You got it all. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy one time watched a gilf porn, and now look where he is.
Now look.
Yeah.
Look, see? Slippery slope.
Some senator in Utah's gonna be like, "Now, do you see this man?"
I told you. I told you.
This is what happens to our society when you do this.
We're the poster children for like what's wrong with
Yeah.
the world now.
And, now
Like, maybe Utah has a point.
we're going to go into Never Have I Ever. So 3 random cards drawn out of the box. And the first one, and if you've done it, just raise your hand, or if you have a drink, take a drink. The
So
first
if
one,
I've done it, I raise my hand.
yes, the first one is, never have I ever given someone a dirty Sanchez.
What is that, anal and then to oral? Is it the poop on your face?
Yes, it's the poop on your face.
I have never given anyone I've never pooped on somebody's face.
Thank you, Madam President.
I was afraid Tommy was going to raise his hand.
No,
Yeah.
not a shit guy. Although I do have a lucky pair of underwear that I haven't thrown away, but I have shit in them twice.
Why are they lucky? That should be the unlucky underwear.
Hey, it saved my pants twice.
That's true. That's true.
That's true,
Okay. Solid.
The next one is, never have I ever looked at nude pictures of somebody in this room. So
Well, that's not fair. I don't have access to your
that's kind of
pictures.
one-sided. But see, Google doesn't pop up too many photos of Tommy Sinbazo naked, which I have.
Oh, I mean, there is a picture of me. I did an underwear comedy show. And
Yeah.
my balls are I every time I do an underwear comedy show, I wear
Not
panties.
about that.
And my
Put
balls,
it up on the screen, then I can raise my hand.
I can't. I don't. I'd have to find it in a time hop.
It's like I saw his balls.
Yeah, but my balls, and every time it comes around, once a year, someone will repost it, and then my balls are there.
Good. I'll have to keep my eye out for them
Okay,
balls.
You'll see. I have very photogenic balls. They're very. They look like
Just the
truck
right
nuts.
size. They
Yeah.
hang out, but not too much.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
They're not all flashy. They get the job done.
And then the last one is, never have I ever been thrown out of a bar. I have.
No, I've never been thrown out of a
I've been
bar.
thrown out of many.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been.
I can't believe I lost. Never have I ever. I'm
Well, that's not
shook.
really losing, right?
I'm shook.
And now what we're going to do, we have a game called Incoherent. So, of course, this game is a staple on the show. Tommy has been a part of this game numerous times. We actually, coming up on June 9th, we're going to be invited back 30 former guests to do a Royal Rumble style elimination tournament with this game. And the winner gets sent a champion
Fun.
belt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get the cards ready. It's going to be a handful of cards that are
Mhm.
going to be in drunken lingo. And what you need to
Ooh.
do is try to figure out what the cards say. And there's a couple
Amazing.
on the back if you need to use the hints. So let me just go ahead and get these ready. Boom. So what do you think this one says?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Kitty or Farik gone? What?
Can I give a hint?
Yeah.
Missy Elliott.
That's actually the hint on the card.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
Part of my neurodivergence is I can read these.
Words of,
That is
Words
just
of advice-
absolute nonsense.
try to,
Nothing. I got nothing for you.
try to say it fast, but also with like a Southern accent.
Kitty or Farik gone?
Oh, you're
Did you hear it? You just said it.
Yeah, like that's the thing. This is how it messes with people is they say
Get rid of one of the D's between Kid and Dior.
Kid or Farik gone? What does Farik mean? I have no fucking clue.
you
Can I
tap out.
can I just say it?
Yeah, tell me.
Get your freak on.
Oh, get your freak on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Get
I don't know about
freak
that.
Kid your freak on.
Where's the get?
Kid your freak on. Okay.
Oh my God.
And what do you think this one is? I've said this numerous times in my life.
I'm not hearing. I'm Knave Herdring King Hag Hen.
Oh. One of the hints is hung over. You say this when you're hung over.
I'm never doing
Oh, you got I'm never.
that again.
You got I'm never and again.
I'm never hearing. I'm never. It's not. I'm never doing. I'm never.
If you're
If you have a hangover, what do you say you're never going to do again?
I'm never drinking again.
yeah, I'm never I am never hearing again.
This is absurd. I love it. Do some people just like you crush it? You said.
Oh, some people get them immediately, and then some people their brains just shut off when they
My brain can't do this. I don't think. Bub Lickhex.
you have probably you may have done it in your personal life, but you've probably done this in a lot.
Mm.
Actually, yeah, I think you have done this in some of your scenes because I've seen
Butt
scenes.
lickers.
What?
Butt lickers.
Oh.
Bub Lickex.
If you were
Public sex.
Yeah,
Yes, it
there you
is
go.
public
Mm,
sex.
That's a tough one. They're all tough ones to me.
And
That's good.
of course, this
I'm
segment
gonna
is
buy that game. That's
This is a
funny.
good game.
oh yeah, it's fun. That's why I do that big event with all the former guests, and like we actually like
Yes.
make like a real championship belt and send it to the winner because
Yes.
it's insane. And of course, this is our Ode to Humanity segment. So we've finished this off with Cards Against Humanity. So
Love that game.
we can't have cards in front of you, so we do it roulette style.
Mm,
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off the face card, and
Yeah.
then you're going to choose a number roulette style 1 through 6 to
Mhm.
answer that card randomly, and you get 2 rebuttals if you don't like the first answer you choose. So
Okay.
the first one is what's secretly a Russian plot to destabilize the West? 1 through 6.
4.
4. All right, so 4. What's a secretly Russian plot to destabilize the West? The persecution of Buddhists by the American-backed government of South Vietnam.
Honestly, that's absurdly specific, and I'm keeping it. That's
All right.
so fucking specific.
So those other cards will go into the game that we're going to play on Friday. So now we have another round of it. So the next
Mhm.
one is what is the most emo? 1 through 6.
2.
All right. So 2. What is the most emo? Doo-doo.
Next one. How about 4?
All right. So 4. All right. What is the most emo? What looked like a chemical weapons facility, but turned out to be a children's hospital. You're gonna keep that one?
I think that's funny. Yeah, I like that.
Awesome. So that is our Ode to Humanity segment. And Cherie, of course, you've done a lot of scenes. So
Mhm.
what would you say is the worst injury if you've sustained any injuries in the adult film industry?
I haven't sustained my worst injuries are like surfing injuries or exercise injuries. I think my worst adult film injury was during a burlesque film where I had to redo this dance over and over and over and over and over. And I did this part where I was holding the back of a chair and I like dropped down into the splits. One of the times I did it, when I came back to like redo it for the umpteenth time, they had moved the carpet a little bit and one of my feet got onto the carpet. So I went down fast and hard and I pulled my hamstring like a motherfucker. It was probably the most painful porn injury ever.
Oh, Jesus Christ. in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Oh.
just a freak accident. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and of course we talked a little bit about, gilf like kind of parody type things. Have you done any parodies? Because I don't think I've seen a lot of like I've seen a lot of your work, but I don't think I've really seen any like parody stuff.
Yeah, like I've done a few parodies. I've done more for my own sites than for
Okay.
other people. Like I did, because I'm just a nerd. I did like a series of Mortal Kombat ones.
Nice.
I did a Power Ranger one.
Wait, which
did
Power Ranger? Originals or what, like the dinosaurs?
so
What were you-
it was just basically it was a Power Rangers gangbang.
Nice.
And so there was 5 of us. I let everyone choose their ranger because, I'm not trying to push a ranger on anyone. And then it was Lord Head instead of Lord Zed. Yeah.
Please tell me he had a big
And
dick
then we're like,
stack
it's
instead of
morphing time instead of it's morphing time. And we morph into the sluttier versions of our outfits. And then we all fuck, complicated.
that A plus for
Make
that.
my monster grow.
You get it. You get it.
And like out of the ones that you've done, are there any that jump out at you that you haven't done that you would love to do a porn parody of?
Oh, I was not in it, but I was always jealous of the Game of Thrones parody because I love those costumes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, what was it, Cersei? It's been so long since I watched that. I feel like I could have crushed that queen role.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what-
then you just bang your brother.
yeah.
Well, that's porn anyway, isn't it? And they're allowed to do it on HBO. Yeah.
Sure.
Do you think that with all the stepmom, stepson, all that stuff out there, that there are people that watch those movies and then all of a sudden they sit there and they think, I'm now gonna fuck my stepmom.
Honestly, I don't. I feel like the fetish is not like, just like all kinds of different porn throughout, what's popular. It's about how taboo it is. So the
Okay.
wrongness of it to some people make it hot, right? And it's this like, there's always been like femdom and BDSM, but this whole like MILF stepmom role is like femdom light. It's like this nurturing control. And I'm not sure what it is about that nurturing MILF mommy type control that is so appealing to people, but it really is. Because, like I tell people, they're like, why do you make so much of this porn? Or why does the industry make so much of that porn? And it's like, it's the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
We only make what people click on. So that would be an actually super fascinating psychological study, is why is this millennial generation of porn consumers so into the controlling and yet nurturing sex? Like, what is it about that generation that's different, that is so appealing to them?
Well, another thing that's big that I see a lot of all the time is free use. Like that
Yes.
word goes around so much, and like it's actually kind of like an inside joke on the show. Like free, like we'll talk about something, someone will be like, "Is that free use?" And we'll be like, "Well, it is free use." Like, and I mean that's the whole thing.
Well, isn't that the fantasy of the whole, like, so many people are so disconnected because of their devices. They don't really have the social skills or the ability to have sex. So wouldn't that be a beautiful fantasy for those people, that there were women or men and women out there that were just willing to let you freely have sex with them without having to make an effort, take them on a date, say the right things. Like, it takes all of that uncomfortable social interaction that the new generation has trouble dealing with out of the way and leaves you with the sex.
Yeah.
I feel like that, again, it's a generational theme. I really, as a Gen X lady, I don't think there are as many Gen X or boomers probably who are into that as there are millennials who spent so much of their life behind screens and maybe haven't acquired the social skills to approach people that they want to have sex with. So I think that fantasy totally
It's also we're living in an odd time where you can't, if you're at a bar and if you see a woman that you like, you can't just go up to her and be like, hey, how's it going? Because
Why
then
not?
they're like, ew, creep. And then
Oh.
yeah.
I'm old. I don't understand
Yeah,
any
I
of that.
know. I
Yeah.
actually asked, I got called, it was back a couple years ago when that woman posted a video of her walking through New York and all the guys that would be like, hey, hello, hi. And someone posted that and was like, look at these disgusting animals. And I was like, all right, I just want to ask, how do you meet women then? If you
Right. If you're not allowed to ever talk to a stranger, what
Yeah.
are you supposed to do?
And I got called everything up and down. Like, oh, and I was like, well, explain, just how do you meet? And they're like, well, if you don't know, we're not going to tell you. I'm like, that means you don't know.
No, you
don't
don't
know
know.
either. Yeah. You're just virtue signaling. Just tell me
Yeah.
how. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I don't think yelling out misogynistic slurs are the way, but
No,
you
no.
absolutely have to be able to approach strangers in order to make new connect. How do we meet new people then?
I guess you do dating apps.
No, well, I was on Tinder for less than 24 hours and I got kicked off as a catfish
Oh, really?
of myself because I used my real name in selfies, and they're like, no, you're catfishing Cherie Deville. And I'm like, I am.
Maybe if you were in Utah and you just showed them your ID.
Yeah.
But that would solve everything. That would
Yeah,
solve
that would
everything.
Yeah, your Tinder picture has a
They're definitely not going to sell that information. I'm sure.
your
it's
profile
fine,
pic
guys.
is you holding your ID.
Can you imagine? Oh my
Just
God.
give me some dick.
And that's not like, most porn stars can't go on dating sites for that reason. They get eliminated from the site immediately.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, Tommy Sinbazo is a big fan of this as well. You are a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
That
play,
movie
well,
was
now
tight,
it's every
right?
Sunday.
That movie fucking yeah, we play every month. Well, we play Pathfinder second edition every
Fun.
Monday on our podcast.
Fun,
But
fun.
growing up, what do you play? What's your go-to
in
character?
We're currently in a newer campaign, and it's
Okay.
a homebrew of a friend of mine.
Mhm.
And right now I am a cleric. The game that I was playing for the past 2.5 years, I was a paladin. And before that, I was a orc barbarian.
Okay.
Half orc.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now you're playing in the past 2 games, you're playing a healer role. What's
Yeah, my paladin was a little more, we had a healer in that campaign, so I didn't
Yeah.
really utilize her like that. But now I'm definitely a healer.
who was your deity?
Paylor.
Paylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. And I had, it was the Curse of Straw. I don't know if you played that one, but
Yeah.
it was super good for like all the undead. You know what I
Undead.
mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, right now in our game, we're in Pathfinder. Their Ravenloft setting is a town
Mm.
called Ustalav.
Nice.
And we just had a game where in the middle of the night we woke up and a were-rat was rummaging through all of our shit. And so we had one guy who's an inspector, and he was like, I shoot him with my double-barreled pistol. I'm like, you sleep with a loaded double-barreled pistol?
I
And he was
guess
like,
so.
yeah, I do. And I shoot him with a silver bullet. So we beat the shit out of this thing. And once we got it down to like 4
Just
HP.
knew to have the silver bullet in the chamber.
Yeah. When he said we were going to Ustalav, we all took all of our silver pieces and had them made into silver bullets. But once we got this creature down to like 4 HP, it reverted back into one of our party members. And we're like, sorry, sorry, Eric.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tommy,
That's
do you
fun.
still have those dies that you made?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
You made some?
Yeah, he made like giant, like ball-sized dies for
Cool.
Dungeons Dragons.
You just like roll them on the floor?
I guess so. Like he's shown them before, and I guess like that's what they do. Like maybe they throw them through walls. I don't quite know.
That's cool. I have a like, it was I get, what do you call when the, oh my God, I'm spacing out. Anyway, I have a castle for rolling dice. You put the dice in the top, they roll out
dice
of the
tower,
drawbridge.
yes.
Yeah. And
We-
I went to Strategicon in LA last August, and I got myself, this is way too much money. This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever spent like way too much money on. Some amber dice.
Oh, nice. I've always wanted stone dice. I got a bunch of metal dice.
That's cool.
But
though.
amber.
Yeah. I have
But
a
I
lot
made
of
this.
different dice, but they're really.
I made
That's
this
like,
20-sided.
Where do you roll it?
So when we do live episodes of our role-playing game podcast, we give this out to the crowd, and any D20 has to be rolled by this. And I made it out of foam, EVA foam, like gym mats.
Oh
and
yeah. Or like a lot
laser
of
cut my
cosplay
numbers
outfits,
out and everything. And it rolls very dramatically because it'll bounce around and then it kind of just tilts to the number. And then
I
I'm
love
like,
that. That's
So
very cool.
I'll take it with me to cons and just kick it down the hallway, and people will like kick
People
it back.
must be obsessed with it. I want one.
Oh, it's it's pretty good.
Tommy
very
is
cool.
so crafty with everything. Like he's made a whole Mandalorian costume.
Yeah, you can't see it
all
now.
that.
Hold on, let me put it on top of my bin.
I have a lightsaber that a fan made me, and it's
Really?
super legit. Yeah. He makes a lot of stuff for like Ren fairs. His
Really?
at is Mando Arms, and it's glorious.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent 7 months making my armor with the Mandalorian mercs.
I have someone, I think it's Red Sin Design is helping me make a light up metal version of the sun sword that I carried in that campaign I was telling you about.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And with the cons, like of course you go to some of those cons. Like, do people recognize you pretty easy when you go to?
You know, if it depends why I'm going, right? If I'm going as Cherie to like drum up business, I'll dress up. But like if I'm like when I went to Strategicon, it was like top knot, no makeup, not interesting clothing. I'm just trying to like slide in. I'm just trying to blend. I'm just trying to watch.
Trying to
Warcraft.
enjoy
You know what I mean?
yourself.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have people come and go, haven't I jerked off to you before?
Once in a while, but like I'm not trying to like make a scene, like be like, hey, you know, I was just wondering, are you Cherie? Can I have a picture? Yeah. Cool. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with conventions that you do, do you do like I guess do you go to Exotica and all that as well? Or
I've been to one Exotica with Brazzers, the company I'm contracted with. They also had me signing at AVN. I would have signed at XBiz, but I was helping a relative with their total hip replacement. So, but yeah, I do go to conventions some.
now do you get what do you think is the weirdest two-sided question? The
Mhm.
weirdest thing you've ever gotten that you had to sign at a con, and also the
Mhm.
weirdest fan experience you've probably ever had.
I'd say the weirdest fan experience was this one fan for 3 years in a row would not come up, would not wait in my line, would not come up and say hi. They just stood like 10 feet away from the line near my table for hours, just nothing, no commentary, no hello, hi, like just giving me nothing, just standing there like a psychopath for hours on end, several years in a row.
That's how the whole state of Utah is going to be in the next 2 years.
Yeah. They're all just visibly trembling, like
Just full yup. Oh God, I got a massage the other night, and I go to a place that like I usually choose the same therapist all the time because like I really like his vibe, but I just like was really sore and I needed a massage, and I went in, and the massage therapist was totally professional, but they recognized me. And so my whole massage, I can't go back to him because my whole massage was just like this vibrating, shaking, nervous. I was like, I just want to relax. This is not-
It's like, bro, can you actually massage me? Like, I mean, instead of
just sweaty, vibrating hands. I'm like,
Oh, God, I'm so hard.
Like it's weird.
I'm
I
so
don't,
hard.
I don't understand how like people get like that around like people that have like some sort of fame, because like I've been doing this show for God knows how long. I've been wrestling. Tommy does his comedy. Like when we're around other people, like we can just be like, oh, okay, whatever. Hey, what's up? But then there's just people who are just so scared.
I don't understand that either, because everyone, no matter what they do for a living, like good pay, no pay, famous, not pay, like you're all just like a person.
Yeah, you're just a person. That's it. Like you just
I've actually had people say that, but like to me afterwards, like just talking to them, like, man, you're like a real person, and I'm like,
I am human. I'm not an alien.
Yeah. No, I'm an android. I am an android robot. Tell jokes.
Yeah. I think especially with like female pornographers, they expect us to be like pretentious or standoffish or snooty or above you, but like, look, we all know who we are. I don't think there's very many, if any, pornographers that think they're like holier than thou. I think it's a pretty chill group of people.
And Cherie, I know you don't have that much time, so we're going to go ahead and let you go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Before you go, would you be able to do a plug for us real quick? All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pin you real quick, and then whenever you're ready, just go ahead and rock and roll.
Hey, it's Cherie Deville, and you are watching the Happy Hour podcast. I hope you're having a good time.
Thank you much. And of course, where can everybody find you? Of course, I always say never give out your home address, because
that was my first. I was going to give out my phone number, my address, but now that you say that, I suppose I should say that my Instagram is Cherie Deville XO. My Twitter is Cherie Deville. My OnlyFans is Cherie Deville. Or Google me. You'll find some interesting stuff. I just wrote another piece for Rolling Stone. I write a lot for the Daily Beast. So yeah, Google me.
Awesome. And once again, thank you for taking the time to come out and come on to the show. And what we're going to do is actually once you're all done and wrapped up, I actually have the video from Pornhub that pops up whenever people log in Utah. So people see exactly what Utah is seeing right now.
And no spoilers, but tomorrow they're having me film another one.
Really? Awesome. Send it our way. I'll play it on the show or whatever. So, all right, Cherie.
They should send every person in Utah a cock chastity belt.
Because they deserve it.
No, not for you.
We're cucking the entire state. Oh, just sit there in a corner while we have sex.
Somebody called, I saw some meme where they said every hotel room has one of these, and it's that cuck chair that sits next to the bed in the hotel room.
You gotta have a Bible and you gotta have a cuck chair.
The guy from the convention just sits there and the whole time in a cuck chair. What a sad life to live. Like I don't know.
I think the cucks that are really cucks love it.
Oh yeah.
Like it is their jam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Cherie, thank you. I appreciate you coming on to the show, and we'll be in touch. We gotta have you back sometime in the future. All that fun stuff. So cool. Definitely stay in touch and send me your information. I like to try to send shirts out to all the guests that we have on. So we'll send you.
Yeah. Should I email it to, because I know we got together through my PR guy.
Give her your home address, right?
I'm gonna give you my home address, GPS coordinates, office address.
Just have him shoot me your email address. And then we'll set it up through there. I'll let you pick out. We have probably 10 different designs.
That'd be awesome. I love that. And that's like all I'll ever wear to the gym. Like people must think I've never bought a piece of clothes in my life because it's all random merch.
Nice.
Hey, Cherie, real quick, what did you think of the D&D movie? Have you seen the new D&D movie?
I liked it. It didn't blow my mind, but it was cute. I'm glad there was a D&D movie. It had a bunch of the tropes there, the types of characters. A little
you could definitely,
but
I thought it was neat. You could tell where it's like, oh, that was a critical. Like that's a critical potato. And then other times like, oh, they failed that role completely.
Yeah. I mean, it had a lot of little Easter eggs. I think it was enjoyable for anybody, but it was definitely way more enjoyable if you knew about the game for sure.
Well, growing up in high school, I read a bunch of the D&D novels, and especially
Yeah.
the Neverwinter novels, like with
Nice,
Grits and
yeah.
everything. And so all the town names they were calling, I was like, oh my God, they said, oh
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter
Wonderful.
eggs for players.
yeah.
I don't know why I was hoping for something more like Lord of the Rings level epic,
Yeah,
but I liked it.
I would have wanted like a what's it called? The Crystal Shard or a Dark Elf trilogy. I would have wanted an adult D&D setting. Yeah, like that. But if this being popular gets me that at some point,
It might.
like, yeah, if I want an HBO series, I don't want a movie. I want an HBO.
So do I.
Yeah.
And
You
I
have more
wanted to
time to tell
have
them
like
that.
50-part amazing epic adventure and
Yeah.
50-part like inside joke camp for players.
Yeah.
You know, like
I want it to be a 50-part series, but it takes 5 years to tell because they can't get together on the same evening to film it.
That's us. That's every D&D group of
Yeah.
adults. It was so much easier playing in high school because nobody had anything to do.
Yeah. we
Now
just
it's
do it
like
at lunch.
meh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the D&D movie. I was never really a big D&D guy. However, I did see Guardians recently, and I
What
walked out.
happened? Is it good?
Oh
Oh
my
my
God, I walked out of there so damaged. You go
Do
through
you like
every
crying?
human
Because
emotion. Yeah.
I've seen it twice and I cried as hard both times.
I cried
Really?
when I
Yeah.
saw it. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a
Is
very,
it the
it's an
saddest
emotional.
Guardian movie?
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's straight up, it's not for kids. If you take
Yeah.
your kid to see this, you're taking your kid to watch a body horror movie.
Yeah.
It's fucking,
Really?
Yeah.
I'd assume it would be more like light and comedic and colorful. Like,
No.
beautiful music and music arranged in such a way that in and of itself makes you cry.
If you're an animal lover, it's going to be a very, very hard watch. Very hard watch. Yeah. Because it tells Rocket's backstory.
oh,
That's very rough.
Yeah.
Very rough.
because he was experienced, sure, to make him that way.
Yeah.
I had one of my dogs pass in December.
I'm so sorry.
And thank you. But we have his ashes, and I just got a resin 3D printer, and I want to put a little bit of his ashes in the resin and print D&D dice, and then use my Vinny dice.
Oh, they'll be lucky forever. I love that.
Or they'll
so
be bad
much.
dice. Bad dice.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Only because I'm doing it because I want someone to do that to me when I die. I want to be cremated and made into D&D.
Yeah.
But I only
Yeah.
trust myself to do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cut off a toe, turn it into
Well,
ashes.
Come
before
on,
you
I didn't
die.
get this diabetes for nothing.
Diabetes.
I want to be buried in a wheat field so the wheat can be used in beer so everybody can just drink me. Like that.
I'm for all of these ideas.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
You
done.
can see my little pupper.
Yeah, what? I saw his head. Hi. Is that a Weimaraner?
He's a retired greyhound.
Oh.
He's a racing buddy.
Oh.
Yep.
He looks like that dog that you ever see that TikTok trend where it's like dun, 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 and it's like the greyhound like the long snout. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I'm surprised though, because I feel like my whole TikTok algorithm is like dogs and women with big titties. It was so well.
Like 2 months ago, it was a hot trend. There was a voice, one of the sounds was Miss Piggy going, for you. And they just kept having greyhounds and Weimaraners with like the long noses. Like
I love that.
it was like a guy couldn't reach the final chip at the bottom of a Pringles can. They're like, yeah, for you.
That's
And like
so
its nose was
cute.
like,
That's cute.
TikTok, it's very hard on TikTok because we had a TikTok and this show was banned once already on
I've
TikTok.
lost. In fact, the reason I probably missed the trend is because I just started another new TikTok. I've lost many, including a verified one.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's so hard to make ground in that. Like, unless like you're doing like weird dances or some
My verified original account was doing great, and I don't break the rules. And I was so sad when that one went down because, well, one, because it was doing well, And two, because one of my dogs, my little Chihuahua Peanut Butter, had passed,
Oh,
and I had all these videos of her in my drafts.
Oh no.
oh God.
Can't get it back. I mean,
No.
I know I don't cry over social media, but I cried over that one because
Yeah.
like my peanut videos were gone.
Mm.
Yeah.
It broke it still makes me upset thinking about it to this day.
Christ.
We have a dog named Pickle, my little baby girl Pickle. And then my nephew, so Vinny passed in December. We still had Pickle.
Mhm.
My nephew 4 years ago was dating a girl. They got a dog, and he liked the name Pickle so much, he named his dog Piccolo.
Mhm.
And then they broke up. She went to South Carolina for 4 years and then called my mother and was like, I can't take care of this dog anymore. I have to go. Will your family take it in?
I remember you
And we were
telling
looking for another dog. So we were like,
course.
I'll take him in. So now we have
Don't
Pickle
bring
and
that dog to
Piccolo.
a shelter. Mm-mm.
No, yeah. So we have Pickle and Piccolo. And we were like, all right, we got to change Piccolo's name, but we haven't because he doesn't answer to Pickle and Pickle doesn't answer to Piccolo.
I think that's cute anyway.
Yeah, Pickle and Piccolo.
I like that. Yeah.
It's weird because we lost a dog last year too, and like it's crazy because my wife doesn't use Snapchat anymore, but
Mm.
most of the videos for him were on Snapchat. So luckily
Yeah.
she was able to log back in, get a lot of
Save.
those videos,
Yeah.
save
But
those.
wouldn't
out.
it have been heartbreaking to lose them, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
important.
My fiance just came back on Mother's Day, went up to go see her family, and Vinny was her sister's dog. And when she passed, we inherited him. So
Yeah.
all like the little nieces and nephews and the kids, they knew Vinny, and they came. She came home with a drawing done by a 4-year-old that it said "R.I.P. Vinny" and like a drawing of Vinny. And it's I almost burst into tears. But I'm like, his nose wasn't tan. He had a white nose.
Tommy, there's this place my wife had it done up. There was this urn, this chick that she found on Etsy can hand paint, and she hand painted an image that looked exactly like Riley
Oh shit!
into like the glass urn. And
Beautiful.
every time Jess looks at it, she almost busts out crying.
Oh, I love that.
It looks just like a photo, but she literally, it took her like 2 months and she hand painted the fucking thing from
We
scratch.
I
we
love
got
that.
a Christmas present, and it's a stained glass crescent moon.
Mm.
And Vinny was a 40-pound miniature pincher because he had a thyroid problem. He looked like an ottoman from Beast's Castle. But it's a crescent moon with a little black dog on it. And he used to love to sit on the porch and look out over the woods. And so we put it so he's always looking out over.
I love that.
So
They're our babies.
mm-hmm.
They're-
Hello, baby.
They are.
Yeah.
They're so important.
All right, Cherie, we're going to go ahead and let you get out of here. I know you had a short time to come in and chat for everything. So make sure you stay in touch. Everybody,
Yeah.
make sure you click the subscribe button. Of course, we're going to be back here live again on YouTube Live this Friday. Special guest is Alexa Payne. She will be joining us right here on the show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube Live. And make sure you go over, get some of our merchandise. Me and Tommy might hang out for a few more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But Cherie, thank you for coming on the
Thank
show. We
you.
appreciate it. And
Thanks
thank
for
you
So
for
nice to
doing
meet
our
you.
Infinity
Yeah.
Gauntlet of every major MILF category.
Those
of
nails.
having the
Almost
guest-
enough to double fist it.
You should call it the Infinity Gussy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I approve.
All right, Cherie, thank you. We're going to go ahead and let you get out of here, and we appreciate it.
Bye. Have a great night.
All
Bye.
right, thank you.
Mel.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye. All right. So what we're going to do real quick is, in case you guys log in to Pornhub, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to show the video actually of Cherie when you log into that, of what you actually see. And then Tommy, what I'll do is, if you need to go ahead and bolt out, you can bolt out. I just need to play the ads real quick for
Yeah.
people who put the ads through, and then we'll go ahead and wrap. But this is what you see if you are in Utah trying to log in to Pornhub.
Hi, I'm Cherie Deville. As you may know, your elected officials have required us to verify your age before granting you access to our website. While safety and compliance are at the forefront of our mission, giving your ID card every time you want to visit an adult platform is not the most effective solution for protecting our users. and in fact, will put children and your privacy at risk. In addition, mandating age verification without proper enforcement gives platforms the opportunity to choose whether or not to comply. As we've seen in other states, this just drives traffic to sites with far fewer safety measures in place. Very few sites are able to compare to the robust trust and safety measures we currently have in place. In order to protect children and user privacy, any legislation must be enforced against all platforms offering adult content. The safety of our users is one of our biggest concerns. However, the best and most effective solution for protecting children and adults alike is to identify users by their device and allow access to age-restricted materials and websites based on that identification. Until a real solution is offered, we've made the difficult decision to completely disable access to our website in your region. Please contact your representatives and demand device-based verification solutions that make the internet safer while also respecting your privacy.
All right, so that's what you see if you're tall. And it was weird. I'm sitting here and I see a tick just walking across the computer board, and I'm like, "Oh God!" Like, so
Like a
I had
tick?
yeah, like a tick, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
tick
"What the fuck?" So
season.
like, I'm looking around and there's like nothing near me. So I had like my boots that I took off from work are like right here. So I grabbed
Yeah.
like my sock real quick, and I was like, "Ah!" and just grabbed him and like crushed him in
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the sock while that was happening. So what we're gonna do, and of course, what I'm gonna have to do, and I apologize, like I have a lot going on in my mind. Just stuff with the show, doubt that I've had for, a couple of weeks and all that stuff, which, kind of happens because, I get stressed about stuff. At the beginning part of the episode, I forgot to hit go live on YouTube and people were commenting, "Are you guys going live? Are you guys going live?" So when this concludes, I'm going to re-upload this whole entire episode. So anybody who missed like the first 15 minutes or so can go ahead and get caught up on that. But Tommy, man, as always, I know you need to get up early. I know you have some shit.
Yeah, I got to finish my helmet before I go on 98 Rock in the morning.
So pleasure as always. I'm going to go ahead and let you get out of here real quick. We're going
Thanks,
to play
bud.
a couple of our friends, and Tommy, where can everybody see you? Coming up your wet ass pussy show and all that shit.
Actually, I'm pushing it. When is that? That is June 10th, the second Saturday shit show at the Auto Bar. That's the big show we're pushing. We have a couple shows between now and then, but those are just practice for the Auto Bar show. Because we're going to be recording video and stuff. I want to get video of Bussy so that we can send it and submit to Pornhub. No, so we can submit to festivals and stuff and do some out of town shows with Bussy.
You can send it to Utah for Pornhub.
Yeah. Where is it? There it is. June 10th at the Auto Bar in Baltimore. Get your tickets now. You go to, I think it's autobar.com and get your tickets, but June 10th, Auto Bar.
Awesome.
Man.
And Tommy, once again, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and
Anytime, bud.
Boosting with us. And for anybody at home, if you have anything you want to promote, we have promotion opportunities available. We always do an ad segment. I know Sherry was tight on time, so I didn't run that in the middle like we normally do. We're going to run it real quick now, but even if it's not a charge, normally I'm like, "Hey, just send me free shit. I'll play your ads or whatever and all that stuff." So yeah, just reach out to me. We got a couple people coming up who, you'll be seeing their ads right here on the Happy Hour podcast, the broke, poor man's way of doing it that we do it here on Zoom and, all that fun stuff. So Tommy, I'm going to go ahead and let you bolt, man.
All right,
we're going
see
to
you,
play
bud.
some words from some of our friends and we're going to go ahead and roll out of here ourselves.
See you.
All right. See ya. All right. So real quick, we're just going to get a word from some of our friends and then I'll be back and that will conclude this week's episode right here on the Happy Hour podcast. I'll be right back.
This is Jimmy Starr, and you're listening to the Happy Hour podcast.
Derek Sharp, the owner of Curtain Jerker Designs, who does an amazing job. I'm blown away every single time, and his speed that he has getting everything back to us is immaculate.
Hit up Derek with Curtain Jerker Design.
Look no further than Curtain Jerker Designs. Make sure you hit up Derek.
Derek Sharp, man. Hey, just want to say thank you for the posters, all the hard work you put into, man. We really appreciate you, man.
A shout out to Derek Sharp from Curtain Jerker Designs. Yo, dude, just want to say, this poster off the hook.
Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and I want to give a big shout out to my man Derek over there with Curtain Jerkers Designs.
If you are looking for the best graphics, the best designs, look up Curtain Jerker. I do.
Curtain Jerker Designs. That's who I use for any of my graphic designs, and you should too.
Thanks, Curtain Jerker Designs. Big old shout out.
But with a hard on.
Hi, this is Malika. Make sure you watch the Happy Hour podcast. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's the Happy Hour podcast. I'm Ray. You can see what's all coming up on the show. Of course, Alexa Payne will be joining us right here on the show this coming Friday. That's going to be live right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the episode, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. The first 30 minutes or so of the episode didn't come onto the live. I do have it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to re-upload this episode so everybody can see the first 30 minutes or so of the episode, because I didn't realize until about midway through that it wasn't recording live. So it's Wednesday night. I came right from work, and stuff happens when you do live. That's why I like doing a live show. But no, for everybody that tuned in, we appreciate it. And if you're watching this on the re-uploaded part, you didn't miss anything at all. So for those of you watching live, I apologize. And we will see you guys Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube Live on the Happy Hour podcast. Peace.